I guess we can't count this group as a quorum, can we? Is
Not yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I was just talking to John Dam, and he's going to be joining us at 2 o'clock. So are you a Colwood resident, Ken?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, both my two of my children are in Royal Bay. Just they're that magic 30-something is just perfect for them.
I became a Colwood resident because my 60-year-old children were saying I live too far away.
Yeah, it's interesting. You go and visit them, and everybody there seems to be either pushing a pram or about to be pushing a pram. So it's interesting to see a new community grow. Do you know if are they going to go ahead with the archive center? Do you know?
They are going ahead with the archive center. They're still in the planning stages. There are a few preliminary sketches I've seen. And there was just a recent survey from the Friends of the BC Archives.
Mm-hmm.
Summarized that was released.
Because the last I heard, they had 3. It's a joint venture, if I remember correct, public-private partnership. I think they were joint venture. Because I know they were down to three groups. So I was trying to figure out when it would actually be open. Hey, John. Hey, John. You're muted.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry, guys, I realized my video was off, or I hadn't realized it off. And no, I'm not actually in Desolation Sound. That would be a nice place to be right now.
I was going to say, nice balcony there.
Yeah, it's a pretty special place up there.
Well, from what I understand, we need a quorum of 5 to proceed with this meeting. And we don't have one at this moment, but we can wait for up to 20 minutes to see if we can assemble a quorum.
Thank you, Ken. I don't know if I want to wait 20 minutes, but we'll see.
We have had a note from a couple commission members who have noted they are arriving late, likely between the 15 and 30-minute mark. So if we could wait a few minutes, that would be great. connect. If not, our corporate services assistant, Gabrielle, will look to try and set something up either next Thursday or the Thursday after, just given the time sensitivities around the 2403 Souk property that's on the agenda today. So we hopefully can just wait for a few minutes and fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm good, Joe.
Yeah, thanks for the update, Jill. I think if we know people are coming, that's a lot different. That's worth waiting for.
What do our bylaws state around how long we are obligated to wait?
Gabrielle knows the procedural bylaw inside out there, and it is 20 minutes maximum.
Okay.
So we can wait up to that point. And I see Michael's just logged in here, and so that gives us 3. And so there's 2 who have indicated around the 15-ish mark or so. So I think it'll be pretty telling here in about 17 or 18 minutes as to if this is a go or not for today. So that being said, thank you, Councillor Baxter, for joining. I was just noting that we are a couple away from quorum, but we have a little window of time in which we can still achieve it and go on with the meeting. If not, Gabrielle and Corporate Services will follow up with 2 meeting options for a special Heritage Commission meeting, either next Thursday or the Thursday after, just given the time considerations ahead of development application coming in for the 2403 Souk property.
Great. Sorry, I was a minute or 2 late there.
You're all good.
Obviously, you're all getting nervous that you weren't going to get a quorum, but we still got 2 more to come, eh?
Yeah, and 17 minutes till we have to make that final decision. So
Okay.
So we'll just, if everybody's okay with it, just hang out for a few minutes, and we'll wait and see. Thanks so much.
Thank
Right.
you.
How are you, Michael? Enjoying the summer?
I am, particularly now that this is my last meeting before the last week or second to last week in August, I believe, is the next meeting. So it's a real summer holiday.
Summer's actually arrived.
Yeah.
There was a question about the BC Archives building. As I mentioned, the Friends of the BC Archives had an online survey of their membership requesting their input regarding the proposed new archives in Colwood. They have published an executive summary of the results of that. The main concerns as regards Colwood seem to be those of transportation. Could they get to the new site back and forth easily? And I guess council's got to figure out how they're going to provide regular transportation to that site that the current users of the archives have been able to achieve with its current location.
I'm aware that BC Transit is modifying their transit schedule to the Royal Bay area as part of a fall update. Once the new developments is complete here on the north side of Latoria, and then the south side is underway, they're revisiting, and so infrastructure is being put in on Latoria now to meet a new bus loading. So a new small transit hub will be developed right here on Latoria at Mitchosen Road. So
Yeah,
that'll
great.
facilitate. That should facilitate a lot of and some rerouting of some of the bus routes so that they're more directly to the other hubs at Colwood and Langford.
Yeah. And hopefully it'll be a fairly frequent route, given the number of people that will eventually live in Royal Bay.
And work of ultimately working as well, right? Because we'll be drawing people from into the Allendale district as well now with that new development going on there. Transit has to be rethought. You know, some of this old ways of looping, they're going more like sounds like a hub and spoke system, like a true, transit system does. So, but hopefully the bicycle infrastructure will be large enough too, so people can safely make their way here as well. I mean, not everyone who works at the archives lives in the Victoria area. They do live in the outside areas of Saanich and View Royal and Colwood, I'm sure. How much of a presence will the municipality have, or now access will have? Do you understand, Ken, for this new facility? Has it been worked out yet?
Not to my knowledge. Again, that's a matter more for Councillor Michael Baxter to talk about. And The difficulties that we have really regarding transit are the current users of the archives have been rather spoiled. The legislative transit hub is right there. A number of buses come in from all areas to that spot. Whereas now we're going to, pardon this for the truth, but it's a rather isolated spot.
Well, certainly for somebody, for many places where you might be going downtown in one bus ride now, it'll be 2 bus rides. They'll have to change.
Was there any plan to do anything, Michael, when they run East Allendale through to the other side? Or
In terms of buses,
Or the road itself.
Because the bike lanes that have gone in as part of what we're doing there are fairly significant. I mean, we got separated. It's really a utility path because it's separated. We've got a 2-meter boulevard strip and then the path, so it's a fairly decent area for riding.
yeah. Yeah,
Peter,
well, biking is getting easier and easier. I go everywhere by bike now, and it's pretty easy to get downtown on the E&N.
Takes me about 55 minutes.
About
From
10 minutes
where,
faster
Mark?
with an electric bike.
Yeah, we're in Royal Bay.
Mm.
Yeah, and so, but just to Allendale, Peter, I'm just a little curious because I'm still new to Colwood, so I don't have all the roads quite figured out. But as I now see it, Allendale comes away from Veterans Memorial, heads towards Mechosen. Is it ultimately going to connect then to Mechosen Road? Is that the plan?
But it connects on through to, is it Wishart, Michael, that runs off of the Chosen Road?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Allendale joins Wishart near Mechosen.
Oh, is that how it goes? Okay, all right.
Yeah, because if you go, because it was the old, I'm assuming it wasn't previously completed because there was the gravel pit was there. But
Yeah.
we've worked with Colwood on the first stage of Allendale to push the roads push through to the end of what we're doing currently, both east and west. So because the Allendale crosses the road and goes obviously into this property here. So and it's quite a significant change. I mean, they're just about complete. The sidewalks are poured. They're doing the infill paving, and the street lights, stoplights, etc., are going up. So it's quite a change over the last 2 years. I'm sure it's not quick. I know that my daughter and son live in Royal Bay, and I know it's certainly not quick enough for them. They repeatedly, as they tell me pretty well every weekend that I'm over there. So it's, but we're almost there.
And so then, if I understand correctly, I'll be able to come up along Wishart and then turn on to Allendale in that zone and work my way up to Veterans Memorial that way, so I can get up to the corner and head to the West Shore Mall kind of thing.
Yeah, at some point in the future, and I can't, I'm not in the position because that's obviously a longer term plan, but that is the idea long term, correct, Michael?
Yeah. It just depends on when Ridley's sell the rest of that land that fronts the Allendale Road right away.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty well sums it up. But it's interesting to see the landscaping obviously hasn't gone in yet, but and I invite you guys, if you're interested, to come and view where our office trailer is currently on West Allendale. It's the high point, and you can see all over Allendale, right over to the municipal offices.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a bird's eye view, and it's quite interesting to see it taking shape and what was a gravel pit and is now turning into something that's well, at least we feel is going to be pretty special here when it's finished.
And when you say we, Peter, whose offices are you inviting us to?
We're the developers of Allendale.
Okay.
So that's it's the principal group is Omicron,
Okay.
But it's a consort, because of the scale of the project, it's a consortium of different groups. Sheringham Holdings are the partners in this particular project that we're here to discuss the heritage component of today, and various groups. So C-SPAN, Victoria shipyards have moved their facility. They opened in September. They're moving in already.
So they're a tenant. They're a tenant, not a landowner, are they?
No, they purchased.
Did they so? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So then we have the industrial, fairly large, 170,000 feet of industrial going in on the other side, between Wildcat, and that's just starting construction now. And BC Transit are moving in there. So it's there's some real fundamental changes.
BC Transit, like a maintenance yard?
No warehousing.
Oh,
Parts and storage. Please don't quote me on this, but they run about 15 different types of buses.
that's right.
So that's obviously changing fairly rapidly. So their capacity, or the requirement for spare storage capacity, is quite significant.
Wow.
So they're currently in 6 locations. So they're consolidating to one location.
Lucky for us.
Very lucky for us.
Yeah.
So
I just see Josh has joined us as well. So we're now officially 1 away from quorum with 7 minutes left here. So just an update. So Josh, thanks for joining us. As you know, we need to have 5 for a quorum and we have 4, but our procedures bylaw allows us to wait for up to 20 minutes. And so we'll check in about 7 or 8 minutes here and confirm if we can proceed with today's meeting or not. So thanks, Josh.
That sounds great to me.
thanks, Joe. Hey, Josh.
So-
As regards bicycle paths through Allendale.
Yeah.
Well, before the development, that was a bicycle path. I frequently used it to cut from Veterans over to Wishart to visit the Colwoods Municipal Hall.
Got it.
And further regarding bicycle paths, I sure hope they do something from Latoria where Veterans hits it over to the Chosen Road.
Damn right.
There's a bad stretch there, and I
Oh,
use
yeah.
it frequently.
Do you? Yeah, I mean, I'm reluctant to even take. I was invited to a meeting in the evening to the golf course, and I was going to take my bicycle, but I thought, Twilight, not a good place to be. No, not very big. I've been now taking out of Royal Bay up and hooking up into Painter's Trail, and coming up along there, and then dumping into Wishart, then out to Machosen, and taking Wishart all the way across, not even touching Machosen or Souk roads, because they're just not ready for a regular bicycle use.
Where's
Yeah, you got the
Painter's
beginnings
Trail?
of bicycle lanes on Machosen there, but it's still quite a bit of work to finish it.
Yeah, and they're not separated enough. I mean, certainly up by the school and by the real commercial hub there, they're pretty good. But that stretch past the railroads and through that area between there and Wishart, it's a bit narrow. I've done it once or twice at Twilight. It wasn't making me very happy. Now I've found this alternate route. It's much easier way for me to get. It avoids the hill out of here going up Machosen Road too. It's a much shorter one up Painter's Trail. But I'm quite liking that. That's how I'm getting into town and doing a little shopping.
Yeah, the only good thing is the wind tends to blow up the hill. So that's-
If it's not up, it's at least across.
Yeah, you can sort of tack your way up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to learn to fly a kite. But I'm with Ken though. We that section of Latoria will be, as it develops out, will be something we'll all have to work hard to get good walking structures in there and adequate bicycle rides, or finding an alternate bicycle route. I'm not sure.
I think the changes in bike lanes are a really good example of build it and they will come. Because I think if you look at it, I live in North Saanich, and North Saanich has done a pretty good job on extending, mainly the sides of the road, and the airport's done a really good job.
Yeah.
And it's surprising me over the last sort of 15 years that we've lived there that just the changes in people commuting.
Yeah, I mean, I rode up my motorcycle out there last night and witnessed, several groups of cyclists in the section around Pat Bay and up through to the top end there. Some recreational, some
There's a couple of velo groups
Yeah.
in Sydney.
Yeah.
There's the sort of people that sort of all look like me, and then there's the people that really go fast and go past us and make sort of rude comments. And sort of my comment is, well, your turn will come. No, it's pretty nice around there. And there's some very really North Saanich has a very significant trail system, and most of it's pretty good for as long as you don't have skinny tires on it. It's pretty good to ride around.
And trails and sort of separate lanes are going to make the way we're going to get more people to be comfortable riding a bicycle in the urban areas. I've been a professional cyclist and working in downtown Victoria in the past, and you have to have some skills to be able to survive and be comfortable. So I think trails are the best way to go.
Yeah, you've got to be heads up for sure.
Yeah.
A bit difficult to find new right-of-way in existing places like Colwood, though.
Yeah. So that's why I think like this, the trail I've sneaked out over the back of Royal Bay is one of those things that, with more cyclists could know, they could just avoid being on Machosen for a little bit, especially on the hill. Yeah. So that kind of wayfinding will be something we can work towards in the city to get people onto the alternate roads. I like what they did along Wishart. They made along. I'm just forgetting the name of that road that comes off Painters Trail there by the school, Dunsmuir School.
But the traffic flows is changed significantly. We used to have weekly races out in Machosen, and that was sort of Victoria, the Oak Bay Cycling Club, and that was our one of the weekly routes. But you sure wouldn't do that now.
No, and
it would be just too crazy.
Well, even the old road race from Souk to Port Renfrew and back was something I was a photo motor driver on, and even today I don't think we could have that same race as safely today as it was then. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, there's I think the only one that really is the time trial that they do, sort of Waddling Dog, Sydney. I think that's that. I'm not sure if it's running again after the pandemic, but it used to be every Thursday evening. That was
That'd be quite a route.
Yeah, it was pretty flat.
Yeah, and they're making changes to the road up there nicely too.
Yeah, with the new changes at the McTavish interchange was really quite good. Yep. And the best thing of all, of course, is you're going with the traffic, so you get a little bit of a push from every car that goes past. So. You can kid yourself, you're pretty fast.
Well, I'm in my 80s and I bought an e-bike last fall.
Good man.
And I find it gives you a new sense of freedom.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes. I'm in my 80s with 16-year-old legs.
And Ken, the other side of that is having these people on e-bikes when I'm struggling up West Saanich. It just really bugs me when they ride past me and they're not even breathing hard. They actually have the nerve to say, "Hey, Peter, how you doing?" I don't even have to tell them.
Sorry to interrupt here. We're at the 20-minute mark. So unless she comes on while I'm talking here, I'm going to have to call the meeting. And we can reschedule for another time. We do have two tentative dates. So we're looking at the 21st and the 28th of this month. So that's the next 2 Thursdays. If those members that are in attendance today can confirm if they can attend either of those dates, I can do a quick poll and then I will confirm with the other members to ensure we have quorum for the next meeting.
I for one, am available next Thursday, but not the following Thursday.
Okay.
I'm the opposite.
I'll just make a note of that. And Councillor Baxter and the chair.
I'm available up to about 3 p.m. next Thursday and wide open after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good every Thursday.
Great, thank you. Okay, so on that note, yeah, like I said, I'll call the meeting and we will pull the members shortly and confirm those dates with everyone, make sure it works for everybody. Sorry about that and see you soon.
All right. Pleasure
Thanks.
catching up,
Thanks.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye now.
Care.
Bye all.